Hello and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. Today I'm going to be using the December box of the month from the Not Too Shabby Shop, and this box has a woodland theme to it, a winter woodland theme. And so you get 2 packs of ephemera, which both packs are absolutely adorable. You also get 3 stamp sets with sentiments as well as some very cute critters. I love the woodland theme in this pack, and I love that some of the critters are whimsical, wearing the sweaters and things. You also get 2 paper packs, 6x6 paper packs, and the first one's called Phones in Winter, and it has a lot of just different patterns. And then you get the Snow Critters pack, which has some little critters in it as well as just some patterns, and it's more of a lighter pinks and blues. So I thought it would be fun to make some gifts today, and so I'm going to be making some bookmarks, and I'm going to start out by using the Snuggle Weather stamp set for my bookmarks. And so we'll use some of the paper as well from the Phones in Winter. And so I've gone ahead and I've cut out some bookmarks that measure 2 1/4 by 6. And so you get 2 bookmarks out of each pack, and then you'll have some leftover scraps. Hold on to the leftover scraps because we're going to use those on our bookmarks as well. And then I've also just gotten some basic white cardstock, and I've cut it down to 2 by 5 3/4. So here's a sample of one of the bookmarks that we're going to be making. And so this one I've used the little bear image, and then I've used the sentiment, feels like a snuggle weather kind of day, and then I've added some Nuvo drops around the little bear to look like snowflakes. So for the next bookmark that we're going to make, I'm going to use the Phones in Winter paper as well as the little bunny from the Snuggle Weather stamp set. And so I'm going to take my bookmark and add it to my stamping platform, and then I'm just going to adjust my little bunny where I feel like he looks best on the bookmark, and then I'm going to stamp him. And I like using my stamping platform because I can get the bunny exactly where I want him. And I'm showing you here that I'm using my Crackle medium bottle to help me press down my stamps. So then I'm just going to come back in with the snowflake stamp that comes in this stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp random snowflakes around my little bunny. I really love any type of snowflake stamp. I don't know what it is about snowflake stamps, but I love them. And then I'm just going to come in with my Oohoo markers, my alcohol markers, and I'm going to color the bunny in. So while I'm coloring the bunny in, I wanted to tell you about this video. It's part of the Not Too Shabby Hop. And so in this hop, there is a $25 gift card giveaway to the Not Too Shabby Shop. And this Not Too Shabby Shop is hosting the giveaway, so the giveaway will come from them, and the winner will be announced on the Not Too Shabby Shop. So I will have all the information below about the giveaway, but in order to enter, you will visit every video in the hop and be sure to leave a comment on each video. So once you've left your comments on the videos, then you will click on the Rafflecopter link in any of the videos that are part of the hop. There'll be a Rafflecopter link in the description. You'll click on that link, and then that will be your final entry for the $25 gift card to the Not Too Shabby Shop. I will also, in the description below, put the dates that the giveaway is happening, and that way you'll know, that way you can be sure to get your entry in before the deadline. So now I'm back to coloring my bunny. I'm just deciding what colors I thought would look good with the background papers that I'm using. And so then once I have him colored in, I'm just going to glue the white bookmark size down onto the actual base of the bookmark. Or I should say I'm going to glue the 2-inch strip onto the bookmark. And so I just centered it up the best I can. And like with the bunny, when I was stamping it, I forgot to mention that I'm not really measuring. I'm just eyeballing where I think he will look good. So now I'm coming back with my marker because I like to add a little bit of ice or snow effect around their feet just to ground these little guys. I felt like he was floating on the bookmark, so I just add a little bit of light blue there around his little feet just to give a little shadow like he's standing on snow or ice. So then I've taken one of the leftover strips, I've cut down a little piece, a rectangle that measures 2 inches by 1 1/2, and then I've also cut my cardstock to measure 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So then I'm just going to center it up onto the cardstock and then add it to my bookmark, and I'm using the sentiment Warm Hugs. So here's another little piece left over from the scraps, and I've just cut a little strip off. I have just snipped the edges of it, And I'm just going to add it to the top of my bookmark just to add a little bit more strength to the top of the bookmark where I was going to put the ribbon. And then I'm going to come back with a little eyelet and add it to the top to add my ribbon through. And I'm just using my Fiskars punch and setter here. And these I've had for a while. I think I got those from Michael's, but I really like them. So I'm also going to come back and just add some Nuvo drops to the center of the snowflakes, but I'm not adding a big drop. I'm just keeping it very flat on there. And then I realized I need a little something around my sentiment, so I'm going to come back with the snowflakes and add those around the sentiment. And here is the completed bookmark. Now for the next bookmark, and I'm sorry that I'm having to go so quickly, but I want to get all of these made in one video for you and show you some examples of things that you can make with this set. And so I don't want to make the video too long since this is part of a hop. So for the next bookmark idea that I had, I just cut down 3 rectangles that measure 2 by 1 3/4. And so then I've just stamped the little deer, bunny, and bird on them. And I've come back in with the peace, love, and joy. And I'm using the stamp set called Dear Friends from the box of the month. And so I thought that these were just precious. This would make a precious bookmark, and I just love the peace, joy, and love for it. And these images are really easy to color in because they are so small. I love smaller images like this. I think it's easier to shade and to color in. So I'm just going to come in and color these in. And then I will come back and add some snowflakes around each of the critters because I felt like it was a little bit too plain. So just a little bit more about the subscription box. This subscription box can be ordered through the N2S Shabby Shop, and so you can pre-order each month or get on the monthly subscription. If you sign up for the monthly subscription, you will save a bit on your subscription, and then you also ensure that you will get the subscription each month, because sometimes these box of the months, they come out on the first of the month and they sell out really quickly. Sometimes within 24 hours they're sold out, sometimes even sooner. So if you want to be sure that you get the box each month, you'll want to do the monthly subscription. And it's a surprise what you get. You don't know ahead of time what you're getting each month, but I have been a part of the team for the last year, and I've had a lot of fun. Each box or each subscription that I've received, I've really enjoyed using. And so this hop is also, in this hop you'll see, I'm using the box of the month, but you'll also see in this hop the stamp and die of the month. So there's 3 different subscriptions that you can subscribe to in the N2S Shabby Shop. You have the box of the month, the stamp and die of the month, and then the paper pack of the month. So those are things that you can subscribe to and receive each month. And I have not actually done the paper pack of the month, but I have done the stamp and die and the box of the month, and the paper packs are just like what comes in the box of the month, so I know that they'll be a lot of fun to use as well. I will link below to the N2S Shabby Shop so you can check out all the subscriptions in the shop and all the information on the discounts and different options for the subscriptions. So here I'm just coming back in with the snowflake stamps and just adding a few snowflakes. Typically I use about 3 of something that just seems right, but on the bunny I did add a little extra. It felt like he needed a little bit more around him. And then I'm also going to ground these little ones. When I mean ground, and it looks like they're sitting on the ground. So I'm just adding a little bit of like a shadow with the blue so that it looks like they're laying on the snow or sitting on the snow and not just floating in the air. Now the bird, I don't need to do that because he is up in a tree. Now I'm not going to center these on the bookmark. It looks good centered, but then if you punch your hole, it's going to go right through the side of the bird's head. So what I'm going to do is I am going to center them from right, left to right, but then I'm going to pull the squares closer down to the bottom so that I have room at the top to add my little tab and to punch a hole and add my eyelet. And so here you see I'm just coming back in, and I decided I still felt like the little squares were too plain, so I'm just inking around the edges of each one with a little bit of blue paint, or blue ink, excuse me, and just lightly doing the edges. And then I'm just going to line these up on my bookmark. I'm just centering them like that. Now, once I glue it all down, I come back and I glue the bird down, but you'll see in just a moment, I realized that somehow when I was trimming them up, the bird piece is a little bit too wide. So I'll just take it off and trim it back down so that they all line up evenly up and down the card. And it's probably not perfect still, but it's enough that it's good to the eye. And so you'll see here, I just realized that it's sticking over just a little too far, so I quickly remove it and trim it down. So when you dry fit, you may want to look for that so that you're not like me and have to re-glue it back down. But it wasn't an issue either. Just keep in mind, don't stress. This is just paper. We can always re-stamp it and recolor it. It's not that big a deal. So you can see here, I left a little extra room of my cardstock on my bookmark at the top, just so that I can punch my hole and add my ribbon. And I'm cutting another little strip from some of the scraps that were left over. And I'm using my little punch here to cut the corners, but you can just take a pair of scissors. For some of them, I just use scissors and do it, or you can use that little punch. And so here I'm just deciding where I'm going to put the tab and if I need to trim the tab down. So you'll see here I trim it down, and then it's too short to use my punch, so I'm just going to snip the corners with my scissors. And then I'll add the little tab to the top of the bookmark, and then I'll add the eyelet and ribbon. So here are some of the bookmarks I have completed so far, and I love how they all look different, but from the same paper pack and from the same set. But there's so many different ways you could create these, and this is just a sampling of ideas. There are so many other ways that you could do these, but I had fun making them. So here's the little bear that we, I showed you at the very beginning, and it has the Nuvo drops for snow. I have a little snow around his feet, and I've added the sentiment here at the bottom. And so this is the one that we made, inspired by that one. This is the one we made together. And I've used the warm hug sentiment for him, and that sentiment came from the same stamp set that he is in, the little bunny is in. And then I've added the Nuvo drops inside of the snowflakes. Hopefully you can see that. And then I've just colored this little guy in. I've also created this one on camera with you, and this one was the one with the 3 little images added to the bookmark. And I love how this one turned out. And once again, there's Nuvo drops on it. And then these two I created off camera. And so this one says, "Wake me when winter is over." And this is from the stamp set. I did not use any in the video from it. This is from this stamp set, and it is called Cozy Forest Friends. And so I stamped that sentiment, made it just like we did the bear and the rabbit here, except using a different sentiment. And then I've just added the rabbit. So for this one, what I decided to do with this background is I did come back with some brown ink around the edges and kind of grunged this one up a bit and did not add the Nuvo drops to him. And so then for this one, it's totally different from the rest, I would say, because I didn't use the white background paper. I just used a little piece of white paper. I inked the edges and stamped "Wake Me When Winter Is Over" in brown. And then I've added these two little guys together onto the cardstock. And so this is one of the strips that was left over when I cut out my bookmarks. So I just flipped it over and used it as a strip down the bookmark. And I really love how all these turned out. I think these would be great to add to Happy Mail. They would also be great if you're giving somebody a book for Christmas. This would be great to add to their book. And this would just be great for adding to gifts for school teachers or anyone that you know uses a book a lot. And you could actually use these in your planner as well. I know a lot of people will be doing planners starting in January. So I plan on adding these to some Happy Mail or to some little gifts. And I'll probably keep one for myself, 1 or 2 for myself, because I really like them. Well, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.